All right, Monday. Waiting for the wife to come out the DMV, sitting over here bored to death. And I was just talking to one of my friends, Sia. And we're giving a heads up for next Monday is the famous eclipse. Signs of his coming. The eclipse, April 8th. 4 minutes supposed to cover the thing supposed to happen. I'm outside, obviously you guys can hear that. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm thinking, let's give a heads up. Because next week, this time, if this stuff are you folks, and this becomes between Christians and Hebrew Israelites, both of y'all, again, is going into the prophecy magical bag, trying to pull out something to try to make it fit whatever. I heard some dude say something about Luke 21:24. I don't want to mention his name because I don't feel like, folks get angry when you mention people's name. But guess what? This is some nonsense going on. Well, anyway, I can't say nonsense. But when next week get here this time, next week, the April the 8th, if I'm living, just like 1619 to 2019 failed, April the 8th, but the Christian and the Hebrew Israelite guys are both teaching something prophetically somewhat. Now, I can't say everyone is, because I don't know what everyone says. But the problem is, April 9th get around here, or April 8th next week, and I'll be off if I'm living Monday. Ooh-wee. Man, if I'm off, and this happens for that 4 minutes they calculating it's supposed to be, remember, this is only over the United States. I think I'm not sure. Maybe you experts can come out and tell me you're wrong. Well, if it's only over the United States, then the United States and Africa and China got different time zones, obviously. So now, these people, you guys, I don't know what to say anymore when it comes to eschatology. I know I'm definitely in the few number the way I see it. Both for the Christian and for the Hebrew Israelite cats. I don't care about no gang, no crowd, no 100,000 or 2,000 or 2 million or whatever. Them scriptures bear witness to the truth. And if you don't come up with something better than this eclipse by April 8th, because I don't want to hear no backtracking come April 9th. I don't want to hear no garbage on my, it is going to be another one and it might be a part of it. Because that ain't what it's looking like on them YouTube channels. Them folks are talking about the return, the coming. Signs, Matthew 24:29. Then reading Luke 21:24. Oh, gosh. But it is what it is. People got a right to say what they got to say when it comes to eschatology. That's just like everything else. But if you are wrong and you don't come up with the excuse pad, the pin is already out. Some of y'all some guys already backtracking. I heard a couple YouTube guys backtracking already. Don't say this too much. Don't say about this because remember when this happened. Don't say this, but we believe this has got something to do with this because I don't know if my last YouTube, I'm repeating myself on the last YouTube, but it's got a week to go, folks. A week to go. I don't know why I'm going back to work. If we ain't got but a week to go, he coming back. I might as well call out. Enjoy my last couple of days. But anyway, I'm not mocking. It's just, I don't know. I'm so tired and fed up with false eschatology, false teaching in eschatology, unscriptural stuff, made up stuff. I'm so, after 27 years, that's what it is. I'm just totally disgusted with it because these are some of the people you respect in other areas, the Christians as well as the Hebrews like cats. You respect them on teachings, on other things. I say that all the time. It's not that I hate all the Christian teachings or teachers and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the case. But when it comes to certain subjects, there has to be defined or broken down and has to be taught sound, not make it up as we go. These type of things is what gets me amped up and pumped up and, so and so. Now, my wife might come in here and get in the car. What are you doing on YouTube? I don't want to be in it. You can't see you. But here we go. April 8th. We got a week to go. Now, for y'all who follow these people, I don't care who they is. I don't care who they are. If they're teaching it in the Shabbat class, teach it on YouTube, whatever Hebrew is like, group, no group, a group, a half a group, and you watching it and you putting in the comment section about eschatology or y'all folks don't even know about end time, because that's what y'all gonna call it, end times. And then the following next week, and they don't come up with something, if it doesn't go down the way they saying now, and that goes for the Christian as well, and you don't challenge them back starting April 9th, then you are pushing the false teaching ahead, and you should be held accountable with them. Because if April 9th get here and you do not say nothing to whoever you believe who's talking about this, don't stay in the shadows and try to stay back and wait and see. The wait and see game. I'll wait and see if something happens. And then if something don't happen, I can say I never said nothing. Then if something do happen, obviously whatever happens, then we can everybody can go, ugh, and then you can come after me. You can break on me. Heck yeah, you ought to tear me up. If it happens though. But if it doesn't happen, like it hasn't happened in 2024 years, according to some of these pundits, then they need to be held accountable on prophecy teaching. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 9. Deuteronomy 18, I believe it's verse 18, 20 to 22, something like that. These things are not a game. It's not funny. It's not, we can just keep making up as we go. And then we have this, we have that. Then 2 years from now, we'll have this. Then we'll bring up that. And then we have this. And then it's horrible. And it makes the inspired text of none effect to the people that are listening. Because all they do is gravitate to the people they like. Mores, pastors, evangelists, teachers, scholars, or whatever the heck they is. And it comes to a point where you got to be able to challenge and ask these folks, listen, man, you came out your mouth and you said something. You said this was going to be this because the sign and the verse you use in Matthew 24:29 and the sign of thy coming. When shall be the sign of thy coming in the end of the age? Woo-wee. Now, these signs, they're supposed to be a sign, April 8th. It's supposed to be a sign. So if it doesn't happen, and it's supposed to be reading Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, we can keep going on. Blah, 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 blah. If this is supposed to happen, according to y'all, not according to Scripture, according to your view of it, not according to Scripture. That's the way we see it. Okay, I got that. That's why I'm doing the YouTube. But if it doesn't come to pass, then the people that listen to these people, I always tell you folks, listen to these people. They need to be held accountable to false prophecy teaching. I wouldn't care who they is, how much you like them, how much they teach on genealogy and Y chromosomes or whatever. And I don't care how much Christian, how much you respect the person, a man of God and Guth and God and this and that, and my favorite teacher on TV or whatever, Word Channel, they have to be held accountable. Who's going to hold them accountable? Not the world, not the people in the world. All they doing is going off what the, Christian, they ain't really thinking about no PHIs or the Hebrew Israelite cats. I don't want to say PHIs. They ain't really thinking about what they saying when it comes to end times. But the Christian, the world ain't going to come and rebuke the leaders in this church world or whatever about prophecy. The world ain't going to come and grab them when they come and step out one of these churches here in New York, 1,500 million of them. Ain't nobody going to grab them, put them up against the wall and choke them and threaten them over false prophecy. Only the believer is supposed to bring that to them and challenge them and ask them, you gonna do this next time some little sign pop up, so-called whatever? When are they gonna be held accountable? But I'm saying this and I'm gonna stop this YouTube. How long? How long is this thing? 10 minutes. April 8th is next week. April 9th, obviously the following day. If you don't come up with something, if something happens, but I already know what's going to happen. I can guarantee you next week, Yahushua HaMashiach ain't returning. I can guarantee you that. How about that? Did that make me a false teacher? If he does return, right? If he returns and the coming, the signs is going to lead to his coming, going to lead to the start of this, going to lead to the start of that, blah, 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 blah. Then I'm a false teacher. Because I said he wasn't coming, and y'all saying he is, and then if he comes, that makes me false. But then if I'm saying he ain't coming, and y'all saying he is coming, that makes y'all false. Oh, no, it don't make y'all false. It makes y'all, well, see, you understand, I didn't really mean that. And we gotta... No, it don't work that way. Not with prophecy, it don't work that way. See, you ain't got to prophesy when you're worried about and teaching about genealogy and history and genealogy and history and blah, 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 blah. You ain't got to worry about that. And where the Jews coming from Rome, from Europe and blah, 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 and Y chromosome and the B chromosome. You ain't got to worry about that. That's just breaking down facts and going slow in that. But prophecy is totally different. But now, if you're not held accountable to it, and you can just keep going, what exempts you from being a false teacher? Because genealogies now have to be false. That's just time and looking at stuff that we've been lied to and then say, wait a minute, this don't add up. But prophecy is totally different. Totally different. But guess what? Guess what? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing in the camps or out of a camp on the YouTube, whatever. You ain't gonna text in and say nothing to these folks next week. I know you ain't. Scared. You don't want to be jumped on even in the comment section. You won't even want to say nothing. You ain't going to even say nothing. But I'll tell you one thing. Yahushua listening. He listening. Saying that he's showing these signs to us today. He's showing it to us. Us today. Forget Matthew 24. Us. 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 Not CHEM. Them. Us. Not them. Us. Not them. Us. Anyway, I'm waiting this woman. Come on now. I'm sitting out here. But anyway, this it is what it is. And unfortunately, it's going to be another turnover, like a turnover. Like it's just going to be the same thing I've been hearing for 27 years. And it's been going on way longer than some little 27 years. I told you I got a book upstairs. I took it out the shelf. It's on the table. No man knows the day or the hour. But his name is Gumlach, or Gumlech. He's under Gary DeMar for you Christians. He wrote a book with all the facts and all the faith teaching and prophecies. I mentioned the book in my last YouTube, but I didn't take the book out the little shelf. But I took it out the other day. So, you gotta have these people held accountable to this stuff, man, because it's not fair to the people who will respect people in certain areas, and it's not fair to them to keep being fooled and going on with this thing, and anxiety, and then after the anxiety, then comes the fear. It's just, it's a never-ending. It's like every 10 years, or every 2 years, every 3 years, every 12 years. In the last eclipse, I look like I'm finding out it was 7 years ago. So then we're going to wait another 7 years. Then they got another thing that's already been prophesied about in 2030. Some other thing that's supposed to happen. I remember when I was in this other avenue talking, they were talking about 2030, and they waiting for 2030. Y'all can 2030. We're in 24. So 2030, I'm gonna have to go back in that place just to see all the people that was in there screaming. And they screaming about the eclipse too, right now. Right now, they screaming about the eclipse. A friend of mine told me they were in there screaming about it. When I say screaming, talking, this got a biblical side. And you put up this star. This star. You put up the Hebrew calendar with this, with that, with that. But nobody's held accountable when it fails. We just move on. But then it gets slick. And that quote, that famous quote, no man knows the day or the hour. And by the way, 2 Peter 3, a day, it is as 1,000 years, not is. Those are two different meanings. And as, meaning he's giving them an example how in that 1,000 word, 1,000 there is not a literal 1,000 years. That, and Yahuwah wasn't talking to himself. He wasn't talking to himself 1,000 years to myself. It means nothing. He's talking to mankind through the prophecy in 2 Kephra. He's telling them that he slumbers, he's not slack concerning his promise. That they were calling it slackness, that he wasn't going to do what he's going to do. That's why that's in there in 2 Peter 3. It's not that this prophecy is 2 Peter 3, 2 Peter 1, Revelations, Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, and there's plenty of others, that 2 Peter makes all of that irrelevant. And just like Matthew 24:36, by quoting, no man knows the day and the hour. This is about some goofiest stuff as I've ever heard. To try to justify not being held accountable as a true prophet or pundit. So we got these verses we use to keep us away from saying we can't matter of factly say something. I don't see nobody in scripture saying when they were talking about prophecy, no man knows the day or the hour. And Matthew 24:36, they knew the generation, they knew the summer was nigh, the summer was near, they knew the freak tree repping Yasharel, that was there, they knew this generation. All that stuff is there. All that stuff is there. And you guys saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can quote a verse and just say whatever I want. Oh, look, I gotta drive. I haven't been doing the YouTube driving. I can say anything. I can say it doesn't matter. I can just say, come up and say, long as I can use that verse, I'm good. That's what y'all do. As long as I got that verse, that covers me for being accountable to my words. And then some think, as I said earlier, I don't even know if I said it already. First time he drives on YouTube, I better not cry doing the dog on YouTube on this nonsense here. I'll really be upset. Oh man, I'm about to sue one of you cats for these false prophecies if I crash. I'll tell you that. Go to the courtroom and tell them I blame it on the false teachers and prophecy. They told me that these eclipses was gonna happen. I got all nervous and hit my car. But anyway, you gotta be, these people can't escape with these two verses that have nothing to do with what they're trying to make it out for the escapism, to try to keep it in ambiguous thought from all the apostles, all the way from the prophets to the apostles, and then come up with this, no man knows the day and the hour. They knew the generation. Well, generation could be whenever. They knew the end of the age. 1 Corinthians 10:11. I believe it's Hebrews 9:26, if I'm not sure. When Yahusha came in the end of the age, or no, it's 9:26 maybe, I believe. Folks, let's go. We're gonna time. This time they're not getting away with it. This time they being held accountable for their stuff. This time you gonna give them a say, you know what? Y'all got a week to go. I better see something happen. I better not look up in the sky for 4 minutes and just see the eclipse that they're saying that's going to happen, and that's it. You better hold them accountable for this nonsense. If it doesn't happen, they better be held accountable. From y'all, they're going to be held accountable for me. Because if I'm living, you can imagine the next week this time, YouTube going to be. Or the 9th. And it's supposed to be, eclipse supposed to be 4 minutes. Woo-wee. But I already know. Here we come, just like Y2K, COVID. Here we come again. Oh, but let's just move on and wait for the next sign. Because he just keep giving signs to every generation. Every generation. I don't even see the word every generation in no scripture. Unless it's one of these bootleg translations that put that in there. I don't even see the word every generation. Every generation that sees the signs. I can't, man. I can't. It's just gotta stop. This really has, and I hope some of y'all take mean, I'm not mocking. It's just serious business. It's not mocking at all. Some of it's just funny. Some of it's hilarious. Some of it's sad. It's all of them. But some of it just got to be done because it's just time to bring it out and say, you know what? Enough is enough with the false prophecy stuff. Enough is enough. The anxiety, the fear. I think the fear is more than the fear. The fear might be under the anxiety. They both go together, I believe. But it's never hope. It's not the joy of hope. No. We worry about the fear. What's going to happen? All electricity, all this stuff. The government. Then y'all go out there and they got us to sell out there and shop and spend all our money and go out there and get all this stuff prepared and all this. Like Y2K and people buying wooden ovens and all type of. There's so much tuna fish, man. The tuna fish was like, yo, my man, can't take no more out the sea. You ain't gonna have nothing left. Tuna fish all piled up everywhere. Man, lucky I didn't do it. You ain't get me back then. You ain't get me now. Because them scriptures don't say nothing about no 21st century eclipse. Wait a minute. Oh, the signs and the moon and the stars. Well, I believe it's Bereshit chapter 37, if I'm not right. I don't have my notes. Where Joseph told his father that the sun, moon, and the stars shall bow down to me. Was Joseph talking about the sun, moon, and the stars literally a figure of a human body going to bow down to him? Why don't you ask one of these Morays to explain that? Sun, moon, and stars going to bow down to me. His father knew what Joseph was saying because he came back and asked him, are you saying that us or me or and my sons are going to bow down? I forgot. I can't. I'm not reading, but I can't remember. But I'm paraphrasing it. Folks, the eschatology in the Old Testament, the Hebraic stuff, yes, there's literal stuff. Y'all don't like at hand in the New Testament. Y'all make that figurative. The time is at hand. No, the time is at far. Then you spiritualize. Then you talk about people making figures. Man, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. All right, I'm going to cut it out. I'm sitting in the car. I might keep talking if she don't come on. The problem is, you shut up. We don't want to hear anymore. Wait till April 9th. Yeah, I am going to wait till April 9th. But this is a heads up, a warning. You ain't getting away April 9th. You either recant this nonsense now or you pay April 9th. That's what's going to happen. Recant it now or pay April 9th. Because all the false teaching, I'm calling them out. I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're a Mormon. I don't care if you're a Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witness, my goodness. Crooked wickedness. I don't care what you is. FOI, Fruit of Islam, Muslim, Sunni, Shiite. They ain't prophesying nothing. They ain't saying nothing. They ain't. And poor Jewish people like, hey, we cover the signs. Them folks ain't thinking about, they got the war going on over there. They ain't thinking about no sign. They thinking about not getting hit from somewhere else, from something else. Please. Oh man, this is mad. It's messed up, man. But anyway, I kind of hurt too, though. Let me stop fooling around here. I kind of hurt because I hurt for the laity. I'm using that word in the sense of the Christian laity, Hebrew laity. That means those who teach you, those that bring stuff to you, those that you respect, those that you listen to, those that you don't sometimes even check the scriptures out with, those that you take. But with eschatology, baby, you got to check it out. Because it's all hypothetical sayings. Until it happens, it's hypothetical. It's like, well, it didn't happen yet, silly. That's next week. But then after it doesn't happen, then there's no accountability to it. Jeremiah, Yahoo chapter 28, false prophet, false teacher, saying things under the under Yahuwah. Then the Christians saying under God and the Lord told me to say this, told me to think about this. And then it's just like, come on, man. And then you got me on the YouTubes, sound like some kind of madman because all of y'all listen to, and I ain't trying to tell you listen to me. Even though I'm doing the YouTube, I'm telling you on this one, on this particular one, you're going to have to have them accountability. Now, you can check out, well, I believe that all scripture was fulfilled in the first century. Every last dot and T. Nothing was left out. Okay, since we're using Luke 21:24, somebody changed the word captive, saying that y'all talking about the Hebrew Israelite cats in captive now. I don't want to start making those jokes. Using Luke 21:24, talking about those in captive now. He said they're going to be led into captive. Not you, they was in captive. The scripture says in Luke 21:24, they will be led into captivity into all nations. For their rebellion, for saying, give us Barabbas. And they hard-headed, they killed the Son of Man. Prophecy being fulfilled on them. But I got to go. Wifey's calling me. And I got to go. All right. Take care. So long.